The Review, a masterclass in psychological survival. When people hear the name Rambo, they usually picture a shirtless, muscle-bound warrior firing a massive machine gun into a jungle. But if you return to where it all began in 1982, you find something entirely different, a grounded, devastating, and deeply human thriller. First Blood is less of a traditional action flick and more of a tragic post-war drama wrapped in a survivalist hunt. The film strips away the typical Hollywood glamour of combat to expose the jagged emotional scars of the Vietnam War. Sylvester Stallone delivers a career-defining performance as John Rambo, portraying him not as an unstoppable superhero, but as a ghost walking through an America that wants to forget he exists. When a cruel small-town sheriff pushes Rambo past his breaking point, the movie transforms into a gripping game of cat and mouse in the rainy woods of the Pacific Northwest. What makes the film brilliant is its restraint. Rambo uses the wilderness itself as a weapon, relying on stealth, traps, and camouflage. It is a heartbreaking portrait of a man who brought the war home with him because he had nowhere else to put it. Awards, reception, and the test of time. An international hit. While American award shows like the Academy Awards largely ignored the film due to its genre, it was an absolute powerhouse overseas. It won Germany's Jupiter Award for Best International Actor, awarded to Stallone, proving that the film's themes of isolation and trauma resonated globally. Culturally redefined. Over the decades, film historians have completely re-evaluated First Blood. It is no longer viewed as just an 80s popcorn flick, but as one of the most culturally significant films regarding post-traumatic stress disorder, PTSD, ever made. The sequel irony. The raw artistry of the original stands in stark contrast to its immediate sequel. While First Blood gained immense critical respect, Rambo First Blood Part 2, 1985, leaned heavily into over-the-top violence, sweeping the Golden Raspberry Razzie Awards for Worst Picture and Worst Screenplay. Production insights and surprising facts. The minimalist body count. For a franchise famous for its high body counts, the original movie is incredibly bloodless. Rambo actually goes out of his way not to kill his pursuers. He uses his elite training to wound, scare, and neutralize the police officers. Only one character dies in the entire film, and it is a complete accident caused by a deputy's own recklessness while hanging out of a helicopter. The missing dialogue. In the original 3-hour rough cut of the movie, Rambo talked constantly. Stallone hated it, believing the dialogue made the character unlikable and cartoonish. At Stallone's own suggestion, editors aggressively chopped out his lines, forcing Rambo to communicate through expressions, silence, and body language. This last-minute gamble turned Rambo into a tragic, haunting figure rather than a rambling action hero. The legendary alternates. Before Stallone officially stepped into the combat boots, First Blood spent a decade trading hands between Hollywood's biggest icons. Al Pacino heavily pursued the role, but backed out when the studio refused to make Rambo a more unstable, eccentric character. Dustin Hoffman turned it down because he felt the script was too violent, and Clint Eastwood briefly looked at the project before moving on. Authentic pain on screen. The physical toll on the cast was incredibly real. During Rambo's daring escape from the police station, Stallone accidentally fractured an actor's nose with a misplaced elbow during the stunt work. Later, while filming the cliff jump, Stallone broke his ribs when he slammed into a tree branch. The agonizing scream heard in the movie wasn't acting. It was the sound of Stallone actually breaking a bone. A literary harvest. The character's iconic name was born out of pure coincidence. While writing the original 1972 novel, author David Morrell was struggling to name his protagonist. His wife happened to bring home a basket of a specific variety of regional apples known as Rambo apples. Fascinated by the harsh, striking sound of the word, Morrell knew instantly he had found the perfect name for his tragic veteran.